Africa Investor Today is proudly brought to you in association with Petro SA and Afrexim Bank.
Welcome to Africa Investor Today. I'm your host, Zylan. We start today with news on politics and economy. President Robert Mugabe said on Tuesday that Zimbabwe was ready for fresh and cooperative relations with Western nations that have spearheaded global condemnation of his rule. Our country remains in a positive stance to enter into fresh and cooperative relations with all those countries that have been hostile to us in the past, he said in an opening statement and session at Parliament. Our re-engagement with the EU bloc is gathering momentum, he added. The EU last month sent a high-level delegation to Zimbabwe to meet with Mugabe and Prime Minister Morgan Tsvangirai in the first of such a mission in 7 years. An Ivory Coast presidential election may take place this year, President Laurent Gbagbo said on Tuesday in a switch of wording from previous statements, insisting that a target November 29 date be maintained. Speaking after discussions with senior Ivorian officials at a ceremony to hand over provincial voters' lists for the long-delayed poll, Gbagbo said, "I told them the presidential election at least must take place in 2009. Stay with us, you're watching Africa Investor Today.
Redefining energy means redefining life. At the Petroleum, Oil and Gas Corporation of South Africa, our commitment to greater innovation and greener fuels has made us pioneers in the field of gas-to-liquids technology. It has also earned us worldwide recognition for producing the cleanest fuels through environmentally friendly processes. That's how we've become the international leader in diesel technology. Through pure innovation, pure energy, pure brilliance.
Welcome back in banking and finance now. Stanbic Bank has finally raised the 30 billion shillings capital that it required to boost its medium-term financing muscle by borrowing from investors at the stock market. The bank, which is the nation's largest by asset and customer base, secured the finance through listing a 7-year corporate bond at the Uganda Securities Exchange, the nation's stock market. The money was sourced through 2 phases, with the first, which raised up to 26.6 billion shillings, coming in August 2009, while the balance of 3.4 billion shillings was received last month, a statement from the bank stated on Tuesday. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe will verify the accuracy and authenticity of local banks' capital adequacy after most of them declared that they had met the central bank's prescribed minimum capital requirements. RBZ Governor Gideon Gono said 16 out of 26 banking units and 12 out of 17 asset managers declared that they had met the first phase of the RBZ set capital adequacy levels, whose deadline was on September 30th. Addressing the media and bank executives in Harare on Monday, Dr. Gono said some financial institutions have evaluated and passed themselves. We'll be back after the break with companies and markets.
Afrexim Bank is Africa's leading trade finance bank, an organization dedicated to promoting African trade through credit, risk-bearing and advisory services. We pride ourselves on having local presence throughout the continent and are committed to extending our award-winning trade and project finance programs to unlock private sector development continent-wide. We invite you to become a part of our vision for a strong Africa in a changing world. If you trade within Africa, contact us to support you.
We move on to companies and markets now. Zain, Kuwait's biggest phone operator, faces an ownership battle in Nigeria and may complicate plans by some of its investors to sell a stake in the company. South Africa's Econet Wireless Holdings Limited disputes the ownership of Zain's Celtel Nigeria BV and said it sought arbitration measures to prohibit the unit's sale or transfer. Celtel provided certain undertakings to preserve the status quo, it said, when asked about the case. Zain Chief Executive Officer Syed Al-Barak denied on October 5 that the company made such a commitment. This has no basis whatsoever, he said. There have been changes in the top 10 counters on the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange in last month, with the notable inclusion of CBZ among the top performers. According to the latest Kingdom Financial Holdings report, CBZ weighed in at number 8 with a market capitalization of $126 million. Among the notable losers was IOCO, that tumbled from number 5 over the past 2 months and was currently anchoring the top performers list at number 10. We'll be back after the break. Stay with us.
Africa Investor, the leading African investment magazine, is essential reading for investors in Africa, filled with the very latest in Pan-African investment and finance news. In addition, log on to africa-investor.com to find out more about our exciting capital market infrastructure and tourism events, and our long-standing investable Africa Investor 100 Index series, which tracks over $600 billion of African equities. Doing business in Africa, you can't afford to be without Africa Investor.
In infrastructure news, the managing director of Unilever plc, Thomas Bodinger, has restated the need for improved infrastructure in order to foster a healthy environment for industrial growth and global competitiveness in the country. Bodinger said recently in Lagos that Nigeria's growth prospects will be greatly enhanced if basic infrastructure is improved, as it will better position the nation to effectively compete even among most industrialized nations of the world. National oil and gas company PetroSA has signed a cooperative agreement with the Kucha Development Corporation with regard to the planned 10 billion crude oil refinery in Kucha near Port Elizabeth. The agreement, which the two companies yesterday said was a major milestone in the development of the 400,000 barrels a day refinery, clarifies the roles and responsibilities of the companies in the Kucha Industrial Development Zone during the construction and operation of the refinery. Thank you for watching Africa Investor today. For more business and finance news, log on to www.africa-investor.com. Bye.
Africa Investor Today is proudly brought to you in association with PetroSA and Afrexim Bank.